Schreiner with 1 count of criminal homicide for the causing the death of Monica Miller, as well as firearms without a license. He's presumed innocent of these charges. The basis for the charges stem from early yesterday morning, around 6:25 in the morning. There was a report of shots fired outside 526 East Main Street, which there is an apartment building where the victim lived with her daughter. Numerous reports of gunshots fired. Police respond and found the victim in the parking lot. She'd been shot multiple times. Became pretty evident pretty quickly that she had been in a past on-again, off-again relationship with the defendant in this case through some of the forensics and talking to the witnesses involved. As you guys know, last evening we put out that he was a person of interest, and the state police encountered him in the early morning hours this morning around 2 in the morning, I guess 1:49, driving. He stopped his car on his own, indicated that he knew the police wanted to talk to him, and then did talk to him. In his interview, he admitted to purchasing a firearm the day before and confronting the victim in the parking lot of her residence when she was going to work. He actually concealed himself and was essentially waiting for her to come out, and after a brief conversation took her life by shooting her multiple times. I want to congratulate the Ephrata Police Department, Chief Harvey, and his team. They're always professional. They always do an outstanding job, and they did in this case. And it's obviously a tragic case. We're going to have a swift apprehension and arrest with no further loss of life. But this is really just the beginning. Obviously, I want to thank the other agencies who were involved, and I'll let Chief Harvey address the numerous agencies. I do want to thank, from my office, First Assistant Christopher Larson and Christopher Lechner, who came out and responded most of yesterday and assisted the police in their investigation. So that's the essence of the charge. They had their relationship. She had ended the relationship. He wasn't happy about it. And took these steps, which lead to just the obviously tragic results. Our condolences go out to the family, and we've got some more work to do. But it's unfortunately it's terrible. It's fairly straightforward with the facts. There's no mystery as to what took place here. So I'll turn it over to the chief for his comments, and then I'll take any questions.
First of all, we want to thank the District Attorney's Office with the ADAs, their investigative support, and their technological support. One of the things that we have here is a major crimes unit and the forensics unit, which also assisted us. And we had elements yesterday from Manheim Township, East Lampeter PD, Lititz Borough PD, New Holland Borough PD, Lancaster City PD, Northern Lancaster Regional PD, and of course, Pennsylvania State Police. One of the things I will say is this collaborative effort, this spirit of cooperation we've got here to bring this to, fruition. This is one of the reasons why Central Pennsylvania, this is the reason why Lancaster is a great place to live and work. If you're going to come here to do a crime, you're moving in the wrong spot. We take this seriously, and like I said, thanks to the spirit of cooperation we have here, we can bring things like this, to an end, and also so people can go about their work and pleasure safely. Thank you so much for your help.
Okay, any questions?
How long ago were they dating?
It was a couple years. She had ended it, and the way it was coming to us is on again and off again.
And do you know anything about him? He was married? Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
And the whole time that they were dating, he'd been...
It's my understanding, and his wife was very cooperative with us and the police, and obviously I'm sure is suffering through all this too.
Have there been past situations of reports of any kind of domestic assault between the victim and the defendant? Does the defendant have any past criminal history?
We're not allowed to talk about past criminal history, but I'm not aware of any prior police calls for domestic violence or anything like that.
Was the victim's daughter there when this happened?
She was home.
And heard that this guy was a former reverend. Is that accurate?
I don't want to go into his background.
Do you know what he did for a living?
I do know, I've forgotten exactly what they said he did. For us, I mean, they have the information. That's not a secret. It's just from our analysis. It's not so important what his was. We just want to make sure the community's safe and we apprehend the killer. Painting contractor, okay.
You said there was a brief conversation before the shooting. What was that about? Do you have any idea? Did he say?
He did say, let me see what we put in the affidavit, just to make sure I know what the content is. I want to make sure we made that public record. All right, we just put that, yeah, he confronted her about the status of their relationship. So he obviously was distraught about the relationship being terminated. And as I said, he parked his car and then actually, well, essentially, he ambushed her.
In his discussion with police, has he admitted to his actions?
Yes.
On again, off again for how long?
A couple years is what I was told. I don't have the exact dates.
For like a whole year, like as long as a year or pretty recent?
I don't have the exact dates. The way it came to me was on again, off again for a couple years and over for some time. So, but he obviously was still in contact with her, and it wasn't over for him. So,
He had just purchased the firearm the day before, is that correct?
yes,
Did he have any issues that he wasn't supposed to have a firearm, or?
yes, that's why we charged him with firearms without a license. Yeah.
What was that stemming from? Why
That's,
was it?
he could legally buy a handgun, but you need a license to carry it in your vehicle or concealed, and he did not obtain a license.
How did you get information on his car and where he might be headed? That came from the family and then police tracked him down?
Yeah, everyone, as far as I know, everyone involved in this investigation was extremely cooperative, and that assisted the police tremendously, and we appreciate the community support. I mean, that's the way we solve these things, is with community support, despite the difficult circumstances of the victim's family, and obviously his wife, the defendant's wife. I mean, these are difficult interviews, and the people were courageous and stepped forward and were very cooperative.
People on the scene had said that the car had like crashed into the flower bed and there was like a minor, was she in the car or driving at some point or what happened?
Yes, I mean, we believed she was attempting to get away when he shot her, and that would be consistent with what you're talking about. That it was in the parking lot, she had gotten in, was trying to back out and get away. I think that's fair to conclude, and there really isn't any other conclusion.
So she was shot in her car
Initially,
and then she got out and shot again?
it's all in the close proximity, but yeah, she would have been shot initially in the car, and then the remaining shots would have been close to or around. So I think she was trying to get away.
Now, in yesterday's press conference, it was said that a family member had called 911 for this. Did someone find her? Was it someone who was already present?
Her daughter.
Her daughter called 911.
Yeah, and there were numerous calls for the gunshots as well.
How old is the daughter? Where is she now?
I don't know where she is. I wouldn't tell you if I did. No, I don't know how. Do you know her name?
20.
Same to say with the family?
She's in her 20s.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously, she's
That would be a
grieving.
safe assumption.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anything else?
Was her daughter a witness to it then?
I mean, she was a witness. Did she see it? If that's what you're asking me, that's not my understanding. I understand she heard the shots. Yeah, so, yes.
And final statement on domestic violence and relationships when, this seems to be happening all so often.
Well, firearms is not any solution that's going to work out for anybody as far as if that's the way you want to solve your relationship problems. I mean, it's just, what can you say? There's nothing I can say here. I mean, it's beyond tragic to take somebody's life, and now he's looking at life imprisonment. What's solved by this? Is the relationship fixed? I mean, it's unbelievably selfish. It's murder. She has her life ahead of her. She's not, she's 44 years old. She wasn't doing anything but existing and moving on with her life, and he decides to do this. This is why we're here today, and this is why we have police departments, and obviously this is not the solution, and nobody ends up winning from this. And we've got a mother who's now dead, and another individual who's facing life imprisonment for this. It didn't have to happen. It's completely his choice, and justice will come.
No, I think that Presley said he had turned himself in, but he was actually pulled over then and stopped somewhere by state police?
He got out of the car and approached the police officer. They did not pull him
It
over.
was a traffic stop
Yeah,
at all.
we were looking for him as a person of interest, but no. Okay, anything else? Thank you.